Please take your seats quickly, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Hi guys, and welcome to 1minutetennis.com. In today's session, I want to talk to you about the power supply in every stroke in the game. The power supply in the volley, the serve, and the ground strokes. And that is the lag of the racket. Now, the lag of the racket is kind of interesting because if you have a zero lag, which most people watching this video will do, then you lose a tremendous amount of power. The pros have a very extreme lag that's very difficult to achieve. But the difference between a small lag of the racket and an extreme lag of the racket is very small in terms of producing power. The difference between zero lag and a small lag is enormous in terms of producing power. I want to show you a secret grip trick that means that you'll always get natural lag in your strokes and have more power and less effort in your strokes today. Now, the racket lag is very simple. It's where the arm moves forwards and the racket moves back. So the two objects, the arm and the hand, are moving in different directions. So if I was here making a forehand volley, then if my racket moves back as my hand moves forwards, then in the volley, I've created a racket lag. In my ground stroke, in my forehand ground stroke, if my hand moves forwards as my racket moves back, and we have this reverse of positions, then I have a racket lag. The reason it creates power is that the racket will actually overtake the arm. You see, if the racket is always projected ahead of the arm, then the speed of the arm dictates the speed of the racket. If the racket lags behind and then overtakes, then the racket speed is considerably in excess of the speed of the arm. The bigger the stroke, the greater the difference in acceleration. So on the forehand here, if I take the racket back first and swing through, and now take the racket back second and allow for a lag, then the difference in acceleration of the racket and the arm is really quite dramatic. But this needs to be achieved naturally. If I contrive to do it, then it really doesn't work. And one of the best ways of doing this is to hold the racket in a very specific way. And to find the right grip, let's work it one stage at a time. First, we'll make a more extreme version of what we're going to try and achieve, and then we'll go to the final finished grip of the racket. And when I talk about grips, most people think I'm going to talk about Western grips, Eastern grips, semi-Western grips, but I'm actually going to talk about how to hold the racket. And to hold the racket correctly, what I want you to do is remove the small finger and the forefinger from the grip. When I remove the small finger, the little finger, the pinky, and the forefinger, the index finger, from the grip, then now I naturally have a flow of the racket. Now, the middle two fingers provide maybe 80% of the strength of the grip of the racket, but the other two fingers provide the leverage, holding the racket in place, keeping it fixed to the hand. So by removing both of them, when I swing, I naturally have a flow, an ebb of the racket. I have a lag. So by taking these two fingers away naturally creates a lag of the racket. The reason that this works is the way that the hand is designed. And the hand is essentially a series of almost knots and pulleys. There are no muscles in the actual hand itself. And the middle two fingers have one joined tendon. So for example, if I put my hand like this with the fingers behind the phone and in front, then the forefinger here, I can tap on the phone. But this finger is trapped because the tendon of the middle fingers are the same, they're connected, and so I cannot move one without the other. Now, on the ground strokes and the serve, it's preferable then to add the little finger back into the grip, and this will give you a flowing stroke with the forefinger off the racket, but the three fingers on the racket. On the volley, it's much better to keep both fingers off the racket. Because it's such a short stroke, because it's such a brief movement, then the volley needs more help to create a racket lag. And you'll be amazed at the difference it makes when you have a racket lag for the power of the stroke. So on the ground strokes, we just remove the forefinger, and on the volley, we remove both fingers. So hold the racket the way the best players in the world hold the racket. Use your grip intelligently and you'll have better strokes and more power in every aspect of the game. If you like this idea, check out our books. We have books on every aspect of the game, and the books explain the science and biomechanics of the strokes and then give super simple solutions such as this to every aspect of the game. Or join players in over 40 countries that I'm helping all over the world with a unique blend of video analysis and one-to-one training. For more information, check out the website or email me. So use the grip trick that the best players in the world use. Add power and speed to your strokes and remove effort and remove errors. Thanks for watching, and see you next time for more unique tennis lessons that really work.